and we're in the house, in the building. What's going on, my love? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
That's it, just pretty well. How's your morning?
It's been pretty good. I mean, it started out, it's rainy, but it's still a pretty fall in Michigan. I'm enjoying that. I just have a taste for something. I can't figure out what it is.
Water?
I'm drinking my water.
Oh, I thought that's what taste you were having.
No, water doesn't have any
So what's
taste.
the taste you're referring to?
I don't know. I think it's like Ethiopian, but not Ethiopian here. Ethiopian in Abu Dhabi. That restaurant, that's really what I want on it. Yeah.
Bonanni. Shout out to Bonanni. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I loved that food.
Salam no.
Yeah, we
got
back
Ethiopians.
over. So we're back here, and there's an Ethiopian restaurant by the university we live by, but their Gomen Basega is not the same as in Abu Dhabi. And Gomen Basega is like collard greens, but it's just not the same as in Abu Dhabi, and it makes me sad inside. So
you know what you could do?
What?
Next time you get an order, just don't get their Gomen Basega, just go get some Glory Greens and warm it up.
No, it don't. Their stuff don't taste like Glory Greens either. Whatever. Anyway, I have a taste for something. I don't know what it is. I think that's it, but I love food.
Yes.
Maybe one day we could do like look. I'm smacking my lips because my mouth is watering. Maybe we could one day do a podcast at some food trucks.
This is one of the battles I have in trying to walk a better life, is trying to convince this young lady that these foods are drugs.
Hey, look, when I say my mouth is watering, the food trucks, anyway.
I'm just saying I don't understand, Well, I do understand, but
yeah, don't act brand new.
I'm just trying to figure out what can we do to just put the right foods in our body so we can maximize.
I'm all for that. I'm just saying that when I get an opportunity, I really, really, I love food.
Every day, though. You say when you get an opportunity. So I don't want people to think that an opportunity,
it's my current struggle.
It's every day whenever it hits.
It's my current struggle.
And I don't understand. I really thought me coming back, I was going to be more of an influence. But I will say that she is by far the most difficult obstacle in trying to just move in the right direction.
It's a shame. But we're not here to discuss that.
Well, I think all of us are fighting something. And at some point, I hope that I'm able to effectively communicate to you and you receive it and it changes your life. You think we could do that one day?
Maybe.
No doubt.
I mean, inshallah. It's the hope.
That is the hope. So, what do you have planned for the rest of the day?
Work.
When you say work, now I know that you're really good at what you do. She does everything well, folks. When I say this, I mean there's a level of there's a standard that she goes by that if you work with her, you probably can't turn it in without her looking at it.
Because I got to make sure it's right. You know what? But that's a struggle that I have. People will tell you, you need to learn how to delegate, and however those people, you can guide them in what you want to see, but however they turn it in, take it and keep moving, because it's your tendency to put everything on your own shoulder. If you're not going to do it, then I'll just do it and I'll do it right. But now you got 97,000 million things to do when you should have just delegated.
So I just want you guys to know
I'm working on it.
That in a previous podcast that we had, she's overwhelmed by so many different things. And this is one of the reasons why it's so difficult being a husband of a woman who has a standard that's this high. And when I say it's this high, it's not like she holds me to that standard. It's just the things that she does throughout life. I can see that now. It's crazy that I've called her the smartest woman I've ever, or smartest person I've ever met, and I never utilized her for, just everything that she's great in. And now to watch it, I can understand how, like, the things she do when she touches. So that's why I had to get her involved with this podcast, because I said anything that she touches does well. So why not? And she was like, we'll see. And guess what? I told her we're going to change the world one conversation at a time.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's the way you make me feel.
Well, thank you. But you know how they be talking about what's your toxic trait? My toxic trait is that I be trying to dole out responsibilities to other people, and then when they do it, they don't do it the way I want. I go and I fix it.
You do. You are the fixer.
And I know that annoys you to no end. But look, even in the podcast, like I was like, just do what you want. Just do it. This is you. Just do what you want. I'm just coming in and supporting. And then he was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm like, hey, why don't you do this?
So I just want you guys to know this. So, I didn't know we were going to get to talk about that part. But so, like, I did. I wanted to do a podcast with her. I didn't think I was comfortable enough to do one, just to lead one by myself. And I know that she and I have wonderful conversations. So I'm like, I don't care what it looks like. I really don't care. I just said, I just wanted to tape us conversing. And she said, no, this is your baby. Do you do what you want? And look, I'm telling you, every step of the way, the more it became more tangible, the more her voice got louder and louder. And I'm like, look, you can do all of this. I just want to talk. And she's like, no, but she's giving me this advice that I don't want to do, because I know my wheelhouse. I know that this is what I'm good at, and this is what I don't want to do. And I believe that our product is that good that over the course of time, people will realize, like, I can listen to these guys. But she wants to decorate it and put it in a box and a bow. And I get it. It will catch on. And I believe in my product. But I don't have that time. I have my time delegated to certain things that I feel like I want to do. And she's trying to take my time away from me. So
I'm trying to take his time and redirect it to perfecting this product.
I don't want to learn that part of the product, though.
Look, so then then obviously, then I have to say, okay, so then I'm gonna take some time to figure out how to piece together what I'm talking about that probably needs to go with it, because my name is on it.
Yes.
So I can't, there are other things that I aspire to do. And I really just wanted to be able to come in and grab a mic and be like, oh, yada, yada, yada. But
she realizes more.
This man will toss these recordings online, and I'll be like, sir, no.
No, I was not going to, I don't want anybody to think that I was that careless. I'm just saying that I know that we have some really good conversations, and I will edit what's necessary, but I'm not about to be out here cold with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I didn't go to school for that.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Anyways, so I just want you guys also to know that
You put an S on that.
I put an S on what?
Anyway.
Anyway. I can't take it. I went fishing yesterday. With my son, and I was the chaperone. And I just want you guys to know that I'm going to tell you what I was thinking before I was like, so yesterday it was actually supposed to be the week before, and they postponed it due to the rain. But then yesterday I saw it was a high percentage chance for showers. So I kind of went away from my mind. So it wasn't on the top of my list. So yesterday I started, I was doing my studying or whatnot, and then I got really sick. Like my stomach started to hurt really bad. And like it was a painful hurt. Like, so I'm definitely not thinking about this field trip. And I'm supposed to just meet him there. So I'm using the restroom.
Are we really talking?
Yeah, I want to be able to take them, So I'm good now. So I'm out. So
Ew.
I'm saying, like, what do you
Okay, go ahead.
see the immaturity and what I have to deal with in the household? Anyways, so I have to use the restroom again. So I go back and then I'm like, oh shoot, I have to go to this field trip. And I realize my wife is not home. I don't know where she's went, but I know she knows that I had a field trip. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be late. And I like, she's already beating herself out. I'm talking to her. She's like, oh my God. And I'm like, I guess I could give her the business and be like, you're the reason why I'm late to the kids'
I went to get
field
food.
trip. So regardless of her going to get food, I'm extremely late, right? So by the time I get there, I see my son and he's like, oh my gosh, you made it. And then he gave me a hug. Now people out here and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I just want to be like as cool as possible. I don't want to embarrass him. And I'm thinking like, does he think I'm a bad dad because I came late? And I'm looking at all these other parents and I'm like, what is he thinking? So before I got there, I was like, what can I tell my son that is going to keep the heat off me? Because I'm late and I don't like to be late. My wife knows I do not like to be late. I hate being late. I don't care. I hate being late. Now,
What do you hate?
being late.
Golly.
So check this out. So I'm gonna just tell you what my head is. I'm trying. Look, so being an at-home dad, I'm looking forward to the actual field trip so that I can show that I'm being present in my kid's life and my kids can have a description of what I think a man looks like today. So I'm late now. So in my head, I'm like, just say, hey man, your mother forgot. She kind of took the car and that's the reason why I'm here. And by the time I got to him, I was like, why would I throw his mother under the bus knowing that I wasn't prepared to go anyway? I wasn't feeling well.
Oh, okay.
So then I was going to say, hey man, I wasn't feeling well. So I almost didn't come. But then I was like, that's still lying to him. Like, I really forgot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So it was like, it missed my mind anyway. But overall, he didn't even think about it or care anyway. And I'm going to tell you the most uncomfortable part was like, this is the second time we've gone fishing. And the first time we went, I forgot, it was one of his birthdays. And we caught a fish and we were going to take a picture and the fish went back into the water. So we had to use somebody else's fish to take a picture. So this time, look, I promise to God, there is a kid that has no athletic ability. He looks like he's going to be very good in the tech world. And I don't want to give any type of background, but he just gives that. Even when he speaks, he says, I am going to be the only kid out here that will not ever catch a fish. And in my head, I'm like, you ain't gonna be the only kid. I promise. He caught a fish. I was like, look, in my head, I'm like, me and my son are gonna catch a fish. And of course, we did not catch a fish. And you know what's so crazy? It was like, he was like, look at them. They're just catching fish. I was like, they probably done this before. He doesn't understand. Like, people that go is like beginner's luck. Like, it's a skill to it, and people don't want to believe that. But people that catch fish, they know how to catch fish. And I was just like, this is one of these things that for my son, he's not going to say that my father was really good at. But he did say that, I wouldn't mind coming out here one morning and doing it. I was like, I need you to know that it's a patience game. You don't get a fish when you want it. It's not time to go, So I don't know if he's there yet, but I'm excited about actually doing that because it was cool. Like I had never really gone fishing like that before anyway. Like the first one was on like a boat with a bunch of people. But this one was pretty. It didn't even have a pole. We didn't even have poles. It was just.
Oh, you just using
lines with hooks all over the lines.
Oh, really?
No lie. Look, check this out. One of the dudes, so we're out there now. Mind you, it's like 7 or 8 hooks on it. this dude pulling up like 9-10 fish on these hooks. We was like, what is he doing?
Y'all ain't want to go stand by him?
We did. What are you talking about? And all our lines got tangled up. His is free. Oh my God. I was like, it's a skill that if you're not exposed to it, you think that it's boring because you're not good at it.
Yeah, that's most of the time. Oh, that's boring.
Yeah.
It's because you don't know how to do it.
Exactly. Okay. But I think at some point, that's going to be our pastime.
Really?
Yeah.
That?
Yeah, because you ain't going to go.
I ain't.
Dave's not want to go.
No.
Darius will want to go, but, you can't talk, so it's peace.
He ain't going to be able to handle it.
No talking.
That bug is not going to be able to handle just sitting there not talking. The way his mouth is going to turn up is going to be too funny.
Yeah, so that was a cool experience, though, as a father to actually have those thoughts on being late. And I'm like, the first field trip, no, it wasn't the first. You know what? The first field trip that I chaperoned was Darius.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that was fun.
You haven't chaperoned anyone else's, have you?
No, but I will chaperone any and every one of them that come.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm available.
Yeah, I did. You definitely
completely
are available.
flexible.
Oh my God, yeah. I did day in Dallas's. When we were in Abu Dhabi, I can't remember where we went though. I know one time we went to an amusement park, and I was with the kids, but for some reason I didn't get to ride any of the rides, and I love riding rides. And I can't remember why. I might have been on a field trip with her. It might have been to the amusement park again.
Did you before you got married, did you ever think about me going on field trips? Did you think that I would be the type to go on field trips, or you was like, oh, he's one of those?
I don't think I ever thought about that. I guess my little blanket assumption about who you were, I figured that it would be, if I couldn't make it, you would go. If you couldn't make it, I would go. I didn't think that it was going to be like, he's never going to go, or it's going to be more so on my,
gotcha. Well, I guess it had to be with availability then, because you were only able to go because you were.
Yeah, I wasn't working at the time. I was at home.
Got you. Because I remember, crazy. I think about my childhood and field trips, and I did not. My mother wanted to go.
Aw.
And I was like, no.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, she could not go. Like,
that's not nice.
It wasn't. That just shows you the type of childhood I had. Do you know why she couldn't go?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was Korean, or she looked Korean, and I was already like an insecure kid that felt like everybody talked bad about me because I was different. But when you a kid, you don't get it. And I was embarrassed to my mama until I graduated from college. That's how long it took.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's cool. Well, it's even better now because I did use being Korean a lot.
You did. Jeez. It's like, yeah, we get it. Okay. Big hit.
Oh no, no, I started using it a lot more when I accepted my mother as being Korean.
Oh.
Like in public.
Oh.
Like I told people I was Korean, but after college I told her, I have a nice grade of hair for a reason.
Oh God. Well, I used to love, my mom only went on our field trips. And I used to love for my mom to go on my field trips because like she did not talk. And it wasn't because she didn't talk. My mom did not look. She was literally there to drive people to the destination. That was back when you could just get in parents' cars. Parents didn't care. It was just like my mom is gonna ride, then you guys can ride with me. And they didn't care if they didn't have a bus. They had some parents. And so we went, and my mom used to always let us run the radio. We could play whatever we wanted. All she wanted to do was transport us there and transport us back. And so people used to be like, my mom had a face that she's like me. If you see me in public, you would think that I'm very unapproachable. My face stays straight. There's nothing like, I don't look like somebody you just want to walk up and have a friendly conversation with.
You don't.
However, if someone happens to say something to me, I immediately smile.
You do.
And start talking. And then it's like, oh, like, looks can be deceiving.
Very.
So my mom is like that. My mom, she has a face where it's like, probably just leave her alone. But if you talk to her, she's very easy to smile.
She lights up.
She does. And and so people will be like, your mom, she looks mean. But as soon as like they're with me with her, then they're like, oh, no, she's not. And I'm like, yeah, you just have to talk to her. And so I realized that with I used to love my mom going to my on my field trips. My younger brother, he'll say the same thing too. And my older brother, I guess I never asked him about mom going on his field trips. But when I decided I was going to, oops, sorry. I just threw the ball for the dog. When I decided I was going to start doing field trips with the kids, I was like, okay, I got to remember what I be looking like. Like, our kids don't care. They do not care. And so I don't think that they would ever be like, oh, I don't want my mom to come because she looks like her. Or I don't want my dad to come. No, they'd be like, oh, you coming? Okay, great. And so, but I was very mindful of that. Like, make sure that you speak to all of the parents and you smile a little just to let people know. Because generally, I look like you probably should not talk to me. You should not talk to me. So it's very interesting. And you know what? And I didn't even realize it until I think it was when we moved overseas and you would take me places and then you kept telling me like, people don't think that they can talk to you. They said you look mean. I'm like, why do I look mean? I'm like, nice. And when I talk to people, they always seem to be very, very comfortable around me. Like, I didn't get who was talking about me. I was like, they got a problem. But
maybe something is wrong with the presentation.
Well, I don't feel like I should have to smile all the time, though.
You shouldn't, but you probably should smile more than you don't. But it's cool. When you were talking about your mother, how did your father play a role in possible field trips? Was that ever an option?
No, he wasn't showing up nowhere. But my dad, he worked he worked a night shift. So, he slept through our whole school day. And by the time we got home, he was just now getting up and getting roused up to go to work. So, yeah, he wasn't, you were never going to find that dude at a field trip.
Did you, do you like?
I would not want him there.
No, I'm saying, at what point do you think, like even in the beginning, like, did you think about like, when your older brother was young, like, did his behavior change at all? Was it just the same, consistent, like, as far as the field trip aspect?
Oh, I don't know, because I've never talked to him about field trips. It's weird because I know I've had the conversation with my younger brother and we laughed about it, but I've never asked him, so I probably should. I mean, that would be, we have conversations here and there. We're supposed to meet up every week to talk, but I'm always falling off somehow. Before, I'm not even gonna talk about why I wasn't doing it before, but usually when we have conversations, it's like funny stuff from when we were growing up. But that has never really been a conversation with him. So,
it's so crazy. Like, I was just thinking about when you were saying that, made me think about my dad. When my mother left, I always thought I was gonna be a good man because he raised his kids.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's nothing anybody can say. It's like that's the minimal.
He was like, "Hey, I qualify for good fatherhood now, y'all, because my dad raised me."
Yeah, but it was more so. It wasn't the way that he raised me. It was just the idea of him taking a responsibility. Because I'm telling you, I remember when I don't know, like 14 or 15, and I was like, "Man, are you mad because she left you with all the bills or 2 kids?"
Which is worse?
So, but it's so crazy. I said that, but he never said anything to me like I was an adult. He was just like, I used to think you were before your time because I didn't understand
Why you?
And you know what's so crazy? I was just asking them questions because to me it seemed like it, but I didn't understand. Look, just me thinking about it now just makes me realize the magnitude of what he had to endure at that time to be a parent. And I used to think, the benefits. I was like, my dad was getting all of the love from the ladies because he was raising his kids, and I was just like, wow. And then, that was the time where I really can't stand my mama. But you know what's so crazy? Nobody talked bad about my mama. And I mean nobody. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody except me.
Probably because they understood.
Everybody, look, no, even people that don't know the story, they said, "Look, you understand."
That's your mom.
I remember the last dude. I don't know if he'll ever get this podcast, but I stopped going to him. I want to talk about this guy, but I stopped going to get a haircut from this guy because he started my hair and then said, "Oh man, I'm gonna take my lunch break." So I couldn't go to another barber.
Oh,
I was so mad, right? But this same guy, he said, "Hey man, your mother always love you. Like, listen, you'll never know." I was like, man, didn't I just tell you the story? And it was so crazy how you get more information and you be like, dang, your mother will always love you. You will never, if you don't know the story, understand that your mother loved you more than she probably even understood. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, damn.
So I'm wondering, it sounded like this was going to start out about field trips, but I'm kind of trying to figure out if this is really about defining what is parenthood.
That's what it's always
what
about.
Is parenting?
Like, to me, I feel like you and I can get on here and start anywhere, and at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I was just saying, like, okay, so.
Did you want to go back to field trips?
No, I want to know, so what's a good parent?
What is a good parent?
Yeah.
I can tell you what a good parent is.
Oh, now you can. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. A good parent to me is, well, I'll tell you this. In order to be a good parent, you have to have the foundations of life balanced. What is the hierarchy, Maslow's hierarchy. But even as a person, you got to have that. And in order to be a good parent, I feel like when you have those things in order, you don't have to worry about finances. You don't have to worry about stability of your job. You don't have to worry about violence in your environment. You can just focus on what you put in your body, exposure to your kids, being active, asking them questions, setting boundaries, learning with your kids. So to me, a good parent is evolving into helping your kid become who they're supposed to be tomorrow, because we always parent our kids the way we were raised.
Well,
we start out.
Yeah, but I hear you. In the perfect situation, all of those different things would be met in Maslow's hierarchy, but I don't want it to go across as you can't be a good parent if you're raising your kids in a environment that's not safe.
No,
like
I'm saying
sometimes.
Well, you said what's a good parent. So to me, in order to be a good parent, those things have to be. Now, you could be working toward it, be a good parent, but if you don't have those things, it's too difficult. Just like right now, you can't be a good parent because you're at 60%. That's what I'm saying. Like the Maslow's hierarchy, that's what I was referring to. You have to have all of these things balanced to give your 100%. If you don't, you can't be a good parent. You could only be working toward it. You feel what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't necessarily. Well, I know that. I guess you can't be at 100%. You can't be the very best parent that you're capable of as you, the person, unless all of your needs are first met. But usually we become parents and all those needs are not met yet. So, and sometimes because we become parents before those needs are met, it's even harder to get those higher ups, on the hierarchy fulfilled. I guess I'm thinking like it was a really good point. Like, if you are in and of yourself at the peak of who you could be, you're safe, you're stable, what have you, you are definitely set up to next level be great for someone else, because you're great for yourself now. So you can be great for someone else. But I've definitely met some parents who did not fulfill everything they needed for themselves, but they are phenomenal for their kids. Like, when I say they give 100, if they only are at 60%, they give 100% of their 60% to making sure that their kids.
So just
are
imagine
on a
what
good
it could
path.
really look like.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't think that a good parent should be defined. Like what you're talking about, I think is optimal. Optimal. But I'm saying that there are some people that are definitely lacking in some of those things, but those kids could not feel more loved.
I'll give you this.
Okay.
So it's no different from saying that they did the best they could with what they had.
Yeah.
So that's all the way down to the bottom. That don't make you a good parent. You did the best you could, so you made a standard. I'm saying if you're not 100%, you can't be the maximum what you can. You could be a great parent. So that's why I said, like, think about it. They could be even doper if they would put themselves first at some point. So,
but sometimes you can't put yourself. Look, first
you can always do whatever you want.
No. But I'm saying, if you're young and you become a parent young,
yes,
right, and then you have these things that are going on, you're juggling a lot of stuff, and you're still developing as a person. And I think that everybody can. I'm not gonna say everybody. I think most people can agree that once you get to your 30s, you realize how you were really still exploring in your 20s. And once you get into your 40s, you realize how you were really trying to solidify yourself in your 30s, and so on and so forth. And so if you're having kids in a area, in a place where you're supposed to still be exploring to really solidify who you are as a person, that has to be put on pause. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't understand that you want something great for your children. And so you're doing everything you possibly can do to make them amazing and awesome. You know what I'm saying? And I think even some of the great people who have grown up and they didn't have much growing up, they'll say, but my mom or my dad or my parents, they never let me feel like I was without. Or, they definitely loved me. I could say that they loved me, and that propelled them through. And I think that those things are valuable. I definitely would want to be my best, full, complete self before having kids, and I still wasn't. We started having, I was 28 when we had Day. Nope, I was 27 when we had Day, and I wasn't completely there.
You couldn't have been, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so then I can't be a full, complete, and good parent unless I have my kids when I'm 35,
I guess that
40.
was poor choice of words. I'm just saying you can't be your best. You can never be your best if you don't ever put yourself first. So whatever you think you can give your kids, they can never get your best if you've never given yourself first.
Oh, I can co-sign with that, because I feel like
most people don't even work on that either, though, until the kids are gone.
Because we're taught not to be selfish, and I agree. I think that there's a time and a place to be selfish.
No. Well, I'm saying this. I believe the way that we raise our kids, that they're already well past where we are, so they will be able to approach things differently than we were.
Oh, yeah.
So when I'm saying that, I'm just saying as far as communication, like they understand way more than we understood. Mm-hmm. Just everything in life. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So how can we as parents like raise them the way that we grew up?
We don't raise them the way we grew
No,
up.
no, no. Just think about the practices. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I think that as we were growing up as parents, we learned what to throw away and what to keep out of. Why? Whenever I said I think about Tupac, but because Brenda has got a baby, but I think that when we go through and we're like, this isn't working, or you grow up and you become more aware, you watch other parents around you, you think about, you have like a minute to sit there and think about like how much is this really doing anything? You know what I'm saying? We probably need to do something different. I think it's really trial and error, and it's a shame because your kids are really guinea pigs. And each kid, like, because your kids are different and you have to parent them differently, the way we parent today, we could not parent Dallas the same way. There are some things that go across the board, but how we approach them, things that work and don't work, it's like we're learning, we're new parents with each kid, and we're guinea pigs. Like, we're their guinea pigs. And it's really sad, but it's true.
Yeah, and I wanted you to consider this also. So the reason why I am where I am mentally, as far as being able to give, trying to improve everything, is because I felt like the time that I was away, I was able to make up for those holes that I didn't get as a kid. And when I when I felt like I got the level of the security I needed as a man, I felt like it allowed me to realize how selfish I was navigating through life. And that's the reason why I feel like I'm a lot more able to try to figure it out versus wait some time, like even between you and I, or even with the kids. I want them to receive the message. That's why I think I went through that. That's what I've been trying to give to you, where you can get to that place where you have all of those holes filled up, where you feel like, okay, I do feel better. I have the energy to take the time and do whatever you don't have time for because you're tired.
Oh, yeah. Like, when I say that I am truly the woman who would tell you I am tired, I am tired. But, yeah, you've definitely taken some things off of my... but I think that it's... So this is the thing for those who don't know. So we used to live overseas, and the contracts changed. So me and the kids moved back to the States before John finished his contract. So there was a period of time where me and the kids were over here and he was over there, and he would come home during breaks. Well, the pandemic happened, so that was like hell, but he would come home during breaks. But really, it was me and the kids, and then it was him. He was in another country by himself most of the time during this pandemic, where they were really shutting down. So the time you had to really seek and search through yourself and kind of fill those holes up, not everybody got that luxury.
Oh, no, I get it.
Yeah, so I think that, and I think that some people are in different places. Like, some people can find it just by being offered a little bit more time to think through things, such as myself. Some people need complete and utter silence and to be alone to be able to do that. But that's definitely a luxury that not all are afforded, to be able to sit there and sort through all of their bull and from their childhood up to this moment, to be able to figure out, ask the real questions of why, get the understanding, and then improve their life. Not everybody's gonna get that. So for those who are able to even steal time to yourself, I mean, and that's even hard, to even direct yourself on how to find yourself. Like, that's the idea of it. My thought is, if I'm running through life going 100 miles an hour, doing everything, if you give me 5 minutes to myself, that 5 minutes I need it on the most mindless thing in the world, either sleep or, like, my thing, when I got time to myself, I would scroll mindlessly through Instagram. Because, and most people would say, oh, you're on there, but No, I would go on there literally to find funny, like I would listen to comedians or comics or whatever, because I needed something that would slow me down and make me just laugh or just enjoy my moment. And so I wasn't able to really like go through this big search and find Kanika for who she is. When you give me time, I'm going to do the most mindless thing ever because my mind is overworked. But I will say, once you came home and you started taking over a lot of the things that like take up a lot of, it steals time from me left and right. It really did allow me, like, I felt like it wasn't that free time I had, I didn't have to spend it doing mindless things. Like, I really could just start exploring myself, reading again, thinking about what is it that you even care about? What do you like? Who is Kanika? That's so weird because you'd be like, why do people say that? But for real, who is Kanika? So giving me that time, I definitely have used a lot of it to understand why I do what I do. Even in some of these conversations we have, like walking, or if we're, we take trips to go visit people out of state and stuff, the conversations on those trips are really, really, they're good conversations, but it's like exploring, thoughts and ideas and stuff. I really enjoy it, but I understand that knowing how the rat race works over here, not everybody gets the luxury of being able to get some calm and just search themselves.
So what does it look like for you to search for yourself? What is, like, what at some point, I mean, tell me, is that something that you're interested in?
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing that. I'm not doing it kind of like how you did it, but
I know, but how does it, what does it look like for you to be able to say, I am fully invested in searching now? And when I say what does it look like, I'm referring to like professional wise. Like, are you working? Is this like a long period of time, a leave of absence, or like our thing? Like, what does it look like?
I think I could find myself while I'm working. Like my job, my job doesn't require me to do work after hours. My work is enjoyable, so it doesn't like stress me out where I'm thinking about it once I sign off. You know what I'm saying? And there are even things that, so in my work, I'm a nurse consultant, but I'm also a public health consultant. And so I do a lot of things with health equity, cancer control, things of that nature. And in a lot of my trainings, especially when I am doing like breast cancer is one of the cancers that I work in listening to these women. And, once you have had a scare of thinking maybe you did, have breast cancer, or women who found they've had breast cancer, to listen to them now and how they attack life. And I don't mean like, aggressively in stressful ways, but saying like they are fully engaged in the life that they have in purpose. Like they move in purpose. And it's really like, it really makes you feel like you're walking around sleeping. And you shouldn't have to be scared into living your life and thinking about your purpose. And my work in health equity, like there are a lot of trainings that talk about social determinants of health and things that are going on where we live, where we work, where we learn, all of these places, these environments we're in, and the resources we have, and how it impacts our health. And it really starts to make you think about, situations other people are in comparison to you, and how you can make other people's lives better, how you can make your own self better. So even if, like we've talked before about, what if you had like won the Powerball and got $432 million? What would you do? I can't even really say that I would leave my job, because there's so much about what I learned that I love. And it's so much about what I'm doing that has like triggered me to think about myself You know what I'm saying? And mostly it's the women. It really is. But in working in health equity, it really makes me think about the things around me and how it impacts me emotionally, like down deep in my core. And I'm like, okay, so whatever I do whatever my purpose is in my time outside of my job is really to impact the things I see in my job. So I feel like I can see myself career wise. I can see myself. I don't know what it looks like in the end. But it really, really has helped me. Yeah. Did I answer the question? Sometimes I fall off of the question, don't I?
Well, ultimately, I just wanted to know if you're getting the time to find your best self.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad that you were able to keep hold of that question. But yeah, so then I do feel like I'm confident in my answer. I feel like my job has even opened doors to show me who I am.
No doubt.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, at where I am in life, I told you, I want to remove that weight off of your back that you say it's probably not going to get removed. And I beg to differ, because in the world that I live in, I typically get what I want, and that's what I want for you. And I love you.
Oh, well, thank you. I love you too. I hope that you get what you want too, and it benefits me.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
But
Yeah.
that was a wonderful enlightenment on field trips to
Field trips to parenting to Kanika's self-fulfillment.
Well, we ultimately want to give them steps on how to get to places, right? So if we feel like we can give them a little information, because ultimately where I am, I'm blessed. I really am. And I feel like anything that messes your flow up, your feng shui, I want to fix it.
Did you put a hard CK on
Feng shui.
Please, sir. Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I want to thank everybody else who's been tuning in. It's been a complete pleasure. We are wrapping up our, I believe, 4th episode. And the only reason why I'm telling you this is because I want you to see the growth from the beginning to where we go with this, because we truly believe in this product. And I want to give a special shout out to Omega from Diverse Clarity, my host. I'm his co-host on Diverse Clarity. He gave me my opportunity to put my voice out, and he gave me the confidence to feel like I can move a group of people who's willing to just do better every day. And anybody you want to give a shout out to, do?
No.
Okay.
Wait. Well, I guess I will give I'll also give a shout out to Omega. I've never met him. However, in listening to Diverse Clarity, I'm usually on his side. Like with his perspective. And you know, I like how you guys all come to the end, but usually the thought processes he has, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. And then you come in and you be like, but what about this? So I'm with you, Omega. I'm with you too, John. But yeah, I definitely say it's great watching you guys work together. And definitely the growth I've seen from y'all's season has been great. But yeah, thank you for opening up a different avenue for him. He's really enjoying it. So thanks, Omega.
Definitely. And shout out to Mel Never Settles and Timestamp, aka Kingsley. They will be starting the next season, or next what can I say, next segment of Diverse Clarity very soon. If by the time this comes out, they should have come out by now. But I will be back, inshallah, with my family to shoot another season in the summertime. So shout out to those brothers that's doing big things. And on that note, we'll get with you next time. Boom.